Hey you guys, so Habit Train 1.0 has officially ended. We spent the last 4 weeks working on increasing our protein, increasing our fruit and vegetable consumption, sleep, and water. And so now we have officially started Habit Train 2.0. So this means that we are focusing on removing alcohol, removing added sugar, reading 10 pages a day, and also eating mindfully, meaning we're going to be taking at least 2 meals per day where we're sitting down, we're eating without distractions. So like not eating and working, not eating and watching TV, not eating and driving. If you have like music on in the background, that's totally okay. But essentially like what you're doing is focusing on eating. And so while we're on the topic of that one, I really want to emphasize like the reason that we're doing this is because the way in which we eat is just as important as like what we're eating, you know? So when we're eating and we're stressed out, or we're in that fight or flight, or we're distracted and we're not chewing our food, then what's happening is we're not digesting our food optimally. So that can lead to things like digestive issues, bloating, gas, even like leaky gut. Like if we're super stressed out and you know that food's not being broken down, we're eating, you know, inflammatory foods, all of a sudden our gut lining, right, starts to go like this, and food particles that shouldn't be getting outside of our gut does that, right? And so that's what can cause inflammation, food sensitivities, things of that nature. And so one of the things I would encourage you with this habit is also when you go to sit down, like maybe you're putting down your fork or your spoon in between bites, you're actually focusing on like sitting and like chewing your food. So like chewing it a couple times. It would be really interesting to see on average how many times you chew your food before you actually swallow. But also maybe if you are someone who is like stress is really high, or maybe during the workday, or you're go, like for breakfast in the morning, like taking, and I know this sounds a little woo-woo, but I promise it's not, taking like 5 deep breaths, because what this does is it signals to your body that you are in the parasympathetic mode, so rest and digest mode, to where you can actually digest your food. It is amazing the amount of people who I talk to, right? Because I work with clients on their nutrition. And one of the big things we talk about is like, how's your digestion, you know? And if you're consistently getting gas, bloating, things like that, I always start with, well, potentially it could be what you're eating, but how are you eating? Like in what state are you eating? In what manner are you eating? So this is like a really big one. And this is like one of those small changes that we can make to improve our health that doesn't even have to do with what we're eating. So I'm really excited about this one. Reading 10 pages a day, I'm also really excited about this one. I meant to grab my book and bring it out here, but I'm reading The Banker's Wife. So I'm curious what you guys are reading. Remember, I encourage you to read something that's nonfiction, just because I think a lot of times, you know, and this will differ person to person, but something you're excited about, you know, I think for me personally, I can speak to, I don't, you know, take the time a lot of times to actually read fiction. So I'm personally really excited about this one. But again, I would love to know what you guys are all planning on reading. So if you want to comment below in the comment section on SugarWOD, I would love to know what you guys are reading. And then removing sugar and removing alcohol. So removing sugar, this is all sugars, artificial sugars, honey, maple syrup, agave, things of that nature. So if you have questions about this one, please reach out and let me know. If you've done Whole30 before, think Whole30 rules. That's one of the best ways I can describe it. Fruit is okay, fruit juice is okay, but just make sure you're reading your labels. And then alcohol, pretty straightforward on that one. But again, if you guys have questions, please make sure you're reaching out, letting me know. I'm super excited about this next 4 weeks, and I'm very curious to see how this goes for you guys, because I know in the first 4 weeks, you know, some people had, you know, more trouble with water or sleep or vegetable or protein. And so everyone kind of has their thing that they was maybe the harder habit for them. So I'm very curious to see in this next 4 weeks how it goes for you guys.